Well, Akilian, after going through what you did last season to get that touchdown, what did that mean to you?
It meant a lot just to be back out there with my boys, just to play again. That just means everything to me.
To get a touchdown, you had a rushing touchdown before early in your careers, but to get a receiving one.
Yes, sir. It meant a lot. Honestly, just to be back out there, that was just enough for me.
How much goes into a play like that? Harson kind of mentioned it's a 3-yard touchdown, but he said there was a bit, you had to run a bit of an option route and stuff like that. How much work went into just making that short touchdown catch?
I had to think a lot, but I was prepared for it. We worked it through practice. It depended on those two inside backers. If they blitzed, I was gonna go inside and cross his face, but if they stayed there, I was gonna break out.
So, what was it like, getting back on the field? You kind of mentioned, last year you were able to play a bit, but then, you missed most of the season with the injury. What was it like to get back out there?
It just made me more grateful, yes, sir, honestly, because it can be taken at any moment.
I mean, obviously that wasn't your first injury either. I mean, what has the last 3-4 years been like being here? And obviously it's been 4 years since you scored or whatever. But I mean, just to deal with multiple injuries and stuff like that, how have you kind of pushed through to get back to this point?
Just being prepared mentally, honestly, just staying involved mentally. When times I can't be out there, it's just being in the film room, or just being around other guys and asking why they made the decisions they made.
With that, for your receiver crew, people wonder maybe it was going to be a question mark with Cedric leaving. You guys had a heck of a game with a lot of different guys. What did that mean to you guys to start off on that foot the right way?
It meant a lot because we made a vow to ourselves to practice that way, and we knew it was a big question mark with Cedric leaving and stuff, so we knew we had to step up.
This is your first game. You always kind of learn something about your team. What did you learn about this group when you guys got out there finally in a game together?
Just the bonding that we did over the summer, it really paid off. Yes,
how'd you see that pay off?
Just the fact that, when the defense is out there, how the offense is up and vice versa, and just how we celebrate with each other.
With Sean said that you guys are pretty close. How good was it to see him do what he did?
It meant a lot to see Sean do what he did, over the things that he went through over the past years, and it felt good to see him have a breakout game like that.
Yeah. How have we seen him grow? How have we seen him be different this year? I mean, because I don't know, he wasn't getting that open last year as he was against Troy. So how have you kind of seen him develop and grow?
I just seen him attack every day through camp, through summer, just working every day and attacking every day because he knew he had to step up this year.
Do you think that this is something that he's capable of doing week in, week out, consistently?
Definitely. Most definitely.
With I want to ask you about CT. Another Texas guy. What does he bring to the table for you guys?
Oh yeah, that's my son. He brings quickness and his hands and just his routes and the way he's very decisive about his decisions.
I mean, let's say that touchdown that he caught, it was his first one, but looked like that's the kind of thing he could bring to the table where he just kind of beat that corner and got that streak.
Oh, yes, sir. Speed. That's what he brings to the table, speed. I think I almost beat him to the end zone. I was so excited when he scored.
Brad was saying after the game that he did feel like the receivers were kind of laying in the weeds a little bit, ready to kind of show everybody else what you guys could do. I mean, when you look at how he was spreading the ball around and so many options, I mean, do you feel like the balance of this group is something that's going to be a strength all year?
Yes, sir, definitely. Again, with the question mark thing, well, we took that with a grain of salt, and that's why we kind of play with a chip on our shoulders.
You look at some of the formations or personnel that you guys put out there, and I think there was one time where it was you and CT and Sean, and you guys aren't the biggest guys, but you maybe throw a lot of speed at them. I mean, just how diverse can you guys be at times with your receivers this year?
We can do a lot with our receivers. We can put guys in the backfield and tight bunches, and we can do it all, honestly. And that makes it more funner for us.
Mm-hmm. I know that. I mean, I don't know how exactly you can answer this, but with how much you guys run on and run off the field, and I mean, how do you guys? I don't know. How do you guys go about it? I mean, is it pretty easy for you guys to understand? I mean,
yes, sir. It's all in our preparation. We study a lot and we watch film together and stuff, so we know who's supposed to be on and who's supposed to be off the field. What's going on and off the field during the game.
Seems like a lot. I mean, it seems like a lot of you guys can play just about every receiver position too. Are you one of those guys that can pretty much line up anywhere? Or?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Like if I can line up inside, outside, HC or X. Yes, sir. It just depends on where we want us at, like where they want me at.
Does that go for a lot of guys?
Yes, sir. That goes for everyone. Like we all know every position.
With you didn't even have Octavius out there, so I mean, you talk about options, and then you have a guy that probably relied upon to be a pretty important piece. What's the feeling like in that room right now? The fact that one of the guys you're going to rely upon wasn't even out there, and so once you get him in there, it's even more options you can throw out.
Yes, sir. We're excited, and we miss him every day. Honestly, just to see him back out there practicing and stuff, we miss him every day. So we're excited to see him come back. We encourage him every day we see him, and when he comes back, we know we're gonna keep the ball rolling.
When you go through an injury like an ACL, that's a pretty standard football. And what is all the rehab and preparation, like to try to get back to where you are right now?
I feel like it was all mental. Yes, sir. As far as an injury like that keeps you out of the mix for a while. But I stayed involved and stayed around my teammates, stayed around the love, and that really brought me back mentally, so I can perform to the best of my ability when I was ready to.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.